Welcome back, dear viewers. You're still watching Nile Cruise on Nile TV from a very special place here in Egypt, dear viewers. And of course, located 20 kilometers south of the Giza pyramids, Saqqara is the site of the Step Pyramid and the funerary complex of King Djoser, the pyramid of Unas, and of course the Old Kingdom tombs with scenes of daily life and much more. The Step Pyramid of Djoser is Egypt's first pyramid designed by Imhotep, as Ahmed mentioned, of course, throughout the episode, for whom the museum is named the Sands of Saqqara, which has yielded treasures from the old sands of Saqqara and Old Kingdom, Middle Kingdom, New Kingdom, late period, and of course from the Greco-Roman period. And there is still much yet to be discussed, dear viewers. The excavations and continuing, and each season more treasures are found. And in this context, dear viewers, we have with us in this segment of Nile Cruise Mr. Hassan Maghawry, who is an archaeologist and a monuments inspector in Saqqara region. A very good day, and it's a pleasure to have you with us in today's episode of Nile Cruise.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Hassan, thank you very much for being with us today. Today we are located at the Imhotep Museum. We have different chambers and different rooms. Which one could you focus for us on today?
Now we'll start at the beginning of the entrance for Imhotep Museum.
Yes.
At the beginning of the entrance for Imhotep Museum, we can find the pedestal of a statue for King Djoser. King Djoser, he is the builder or the owner for the Great or the Step Pyramid in Saqqara. The strange thing we found up on the pedestal of the King Djoser, we discovered the name of Imhotep, the architect of the King Imhotep. It was written up on this pedestal of a statue of the King Djoser. We can read it in hieroglyphic ancient Egyptian language. It was say in the text actually the name of the King Djoser and the name of the architect Imhotep. Beside to them it was written they were two brothers. In ancient Egyptian hieroglyphics, snooty it means for the English language two brothers. That is a unique thing. We found the normal name or the normal person write his name beside the name of the king. It was not allowed for any person to write his name beside the king. This refers to the position or the high position for the architect Imhotep and the King Djoser. That is in the first hall in front of the museum. Besides the first hall of the museum, we can find on the right side of the visitors or the tourists the mission room or the expedition room. Inside the mission room, we will see different objects which are discovered by different expeditions. On the right one, we have two big famous or two big objects. The first one, the mummy. This mummy for a known person. We don't know the name of this person because it was not written up on the mummy. The mummy dated to the late period. Exactly, it was discovered in the cemetery of Titi, beside the Titi pyramid of the king Titi in Saqqara. The most important thing is for this mummy, we can see the mummy made of linen, wrapped with linens and covered with cartonnage. Also decorated with the golden mask for the person or the dead person. Upon just the chest of this mummy, we can see the decoration and the different inscriptions. The main decoration for the chest of the mummy, we can see the Khibr sign, hieroglyphic language. It means he get his life again after his death. It means a symbol of resurrection. Also, we can see the goddess Ma'id, goddess of justice, and scene for the mummification process, which represent the god Anubis, the main god for mummification process. That is the first object or the first veteran. The second one represent the car tomb. The car tomb, he was called the physician of the king. It was discovered beside the pyramid of King Unas or Wanis in Saqqara. We found inside his tombs.
So Wanis
Yes.
is an ancient Egyptian name.
That exactly, it was written for ancient Egyptian hieroglyphic language, Wanis, not Unas. The correct name, Wanis, not Unas. That is the correct name according to the hieroglyphic text for ancient Egyptian hieroglyphic language. We discovered the tomb of Kar. What is the important? These tombs, it was discovered by the Supreme Council for Antiquity Archaeologists.
Antiquities.
Yes.
Yes.
By Dr. Zahi Hawass, he discovered this tomb. The most important thing is inside the tomb, we discovered bad condition mummy. We discovered the bad condition mummy inside the tomb. Beside the head of the mummy, we discovered the oldest surgical instruments. The old surgical instruments. It is the oldest instruments used in medicine for ancient Egyptians. We discovered inside these tombs. From the east side of this tomb, of the tomb of Kar, we discovered the big pit. Inside the big pit, also the excavators discovered different objects for a statue made of bronze. This statue represents different gods. 7 of this statue represents the goddess Isis and her son Horus, and the god Betah, the main god for Memphis city of Saqqara, and the main gods for the next world god Osiris. We discovered also different kind of offering table. That is related to Dr. Zai Hawass, the excavator for these antiquities. And the second mission, the Faculty of Archaeology, under the authority of Cairo.
Another chamber or the same room?
In the first room.
In the same room.
Yeah, because the room is called mission room or expedition room. The second mission, Faculty of Archaeology, Cairo University. We discovered the 2 stela. One of them, it was called for a person called Nitmer Bismatic, and the second one for to give offering for the person after his death, and the statue for the famous person called Bismatic. All of them was decorated by in ancient Egyptian hieroglyphic. And the third one, we discovered a great statue for Amun Ibit and his wife. This statue was discovered by Hanover University in Saqqara. It dates back to 19th dynasty. The importance of this statue refers to the relation between the husband and his wife. We can see the wife embraced her husband by the right hand beside his shoulder, refers to the relation and the responsibility between the husband and the wife. She wanted to say for us, I can share my husband for everything, responsibilities, activities, and our life. And the most important thing is inside this room also, you can see the coffin for Imhotep. The wooden coffin, the great wooden coffin for person is called Imhotep. Imhotep, it is the name of the owner of the museum. Imhotep, this is the famous architect who built the step pyramid for the king Zoser in Saqqara.
But what can we see? I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Can we see the mummy of it inside the coffin?
No, there is no mummy inside the coffin. The most important thing is the inscriptions up on the coffin. It was decorated by inscription, but not in hieroglyphic line. It was by demotic line. That is the importance and refers to the name of Imhotep. It was discovered by Louvre Museum expedition in Saqqara. That is discovered under the authority of Louvre Museum in
The,
Saqqara.
the handwriting of the Demotic,
Yes.
is it higher than the hieroglyphic or is it lower than the hieratic? Where does it rank for
Yeah,
the kings
it's
to be
more
writing for the
more
kings?
abbreviation, because the ancient Egyptian wrote their ancient Egyptian language in 3 lines. The first one and the clearest line, the hieroglyphic,
Yes.
similar to the computer nowadays. And the demotic, the hieratic, similar to the handmade writing, and demotic, similar to abbreviation or signature for the person. It is the difficult line for the specialist
Is
to
this
read
more
it.
related to the kings and
Yeah.
the gods? The Demotic.
No, it was used for funerary texts, also used by the kings and
Yes.
persons.
So this is the oldest pyramid,
Yes,
if we can call it that way.
the oldest one.
Yes. How did he come up with the idea of building a pyramid for a king to be burying him in it?
That is a great journey. It started from the pre-dynastic period with a shape called mastaba. Mastaba in English, it is the same name in Arabic. Mastaba, that is a special place for sitting for the people in front of their houses or homes. So the mastaba, that is a square shape with one step, more than 15 or 1 meters for high. Time by time, day by day, year by year, another kings and the queens would like to make more development for his burial chamber or his tombs in the second world, because that is an important believing for ancient Egyptian to get his life again and they get eternity or immortality. So they get development from the square shape, which contains only one step, to include 2 or 3 steps. That is from the time of the pre-dynasty. In the first and second dynasty, we have great tombs for the kings, but these tombs made of mud brick and also take 1 or 2 steps. The architect Imhotep would like to make the pyramid of the king. Before of them, we have a king called Sekhemkhet. Sekhemkhet, his tombs in the east, from the west side, from the step pyramid of the king Zoser in Saqqara, it contains 2 steps, 2 mastabas. So the architect Imhotep came after him and would like to make it bigger. So he began with the 3 mastabas, completed the 4th and the 5th mastabas.
And we still have the semi-pyramid with 2 mastabas.
Yes.
We still have it.
Yes.
Near
Yes.
Zoser pyramid.
Yes. Imhotep, the architect, would like to complete the idea, but in a great shape. So he completed 5th mastaba until he arrived for the 6th mastaba of the king Zoser or Djeser. That is the idea. After the king Zoser, we have another king, King Sunefru. He is the father of the king Cheops or Khufu in Pyramid of Giza. The 2 pyramids of King Sunefru located in the Dahshur site, actually 3 or 4 kilometers from Saqqara south. The main idea for these 2 pyramids, that is the first try for the architect to get a pyramidal shape, to get a triangular shape. So he completed
Not
in
just a mastaba, one
Yeah.
over the other.
After they finished the mastaba designs, he filled the space between each mastaba. So mastaba, we can put our foot up on it, like the steps in front of the houses or doors. So he fills the space between each mastaba, and to get to the top of the building, after he finished it, he smoothed it to get a triangular shape. Why the ancient Egyptian chose the triangular shape, not a square shape or a circle shape or any other shape? Why the ancient? Because this is believing for the god Ra, god of the sun, and the pyramidal shape allows the sun to cover the 4 sides of the pyramid from each side, from each time of the day. So if you look around the pyramid, you can see the sun from the 4 sides of the pyramidal shape. So this is the idea in Saqqara. The second try to get 6 mastaba completed in Senefru pyramid of Dashur to get the bent pyramid and the complete pyramid. For the king Senefru in Dashur, we have 2 pyramids. The first one with angle or a bent pyramid, because the top of the pyramid was curved a little bit, so he completed in the second pyramid to get a pyramidal shape. That is the idea.
Mr. Hassan, how do you feel after the inauguration of this amazing archaeological site, of course, which is the Zoser Pyramid?
For the decorations, feeling according to the decorations, in Saqqara site for the king Zoser, in his complex, he made a special decoration for his complex. And we have another decoration in the private tombs. The most important for this decoration refers to the believing or the daily life for the normal person according to the private tombs in Saqqara site. But the decoration for the king, every decoration inscription was written inside the complex for the king for every place in Egypt, refers to his authority, refers to his power and control for the country. So everything would like to refer for us, I'm a strong king, I can control the people of Upper and Lower Egypt, because we know people or Egypt before the history divided into Upper and Lower, and at the beginning of dynasty they make a unification between the North and South to make the people in one country under the control of the authority of the king.
To be writing the name of King Zoser alongside the name of his architect or the engineer Amenhotep,
Yes.
does this make him a semi-god, a half-god, or a semi-king, for example? That's
No,
a high honor for him as an engineer.
yeah, but not allowed for the normal person to get the name God or to get the same rank for the king, because the king, he is the highest one, or the honor, the chief for every person in the country. But Imhotep himself, he was worshipped in the late period, because we have a traditional imitation for the ancient Egyptian from the late period. At the end of the history, for ancient Egyptians, you would like to reveal or survive the same decoration and the same life for their ancestors, their successors. So he was worshipped again in the late period or the late time. Imhotep worshipped also.
As a god of science.
Yeah, as a god, not a god of science.
Okay, since the inauguration, which took place on the 5th of March, which was last week, how do you see the demand of tourists to come and visit the Saqqara pyramids and, of course, the museum?
Imhotep Museum.
Yeah.
Yeah, the importance for the Saqqara sites and Imhotep Museum. Saqqara, this is the third site in Egypt for visitor and the tourists to come to visit it.
Third.
Yeah.
Which is the first and second?
Yeah, the first and second, Luxor and Aswan, this is the first. The Great or the Pyramids of Giza, the second. And the third site this in Saqqara. Saqqara, this is a unique place for expeditions, because Saqqara is a very big cemetery, a very big necropolis, because it starts from Abu Rawash from the north and end for Elishta at the south. So this is a long site. So more expedition would like to make a new excavation in Saqqara site. That is the importance for the expedition or the missions. But the importance for the visitors and the tourists, according to the program for the tourism companies, because the tourism companies have a great bad plan for the Saqqara sites, because Saqqara need more than 1 or 2 or 3 days to enjoy the visitors to see everything in Saqqara site. But the tourism company make a plan only for half day, not full day. Half day, it means maximum 5 hours from the hotels to the tour site and back to the hotel again. That's maximum 5 hours. So 5 hours not enough to come to see and enjoy everything in Saqqara site. That's according to the plan for the company tourism.
Yes, Egypt is so magnificent that you can't just spend 5 hours in the same place and get enough of
Yes.
it. You may need 5 years or 5 months from
Yes.
the same place just to be
Yes.
getting the whole idea. So we did focus on the first chamber of the museum. What about, and it was the missions, or about the missions and the expeditions from Germany, from France, and from
Yes,
Egypt.
yes,
What
we-
about the second and the third chambers?
For the second chamber or a second room in the Imhotep Museum, it is called the Saqqara styles. These rooms including different objects inside it. Half of this room including more objects for the vessels and vases or jars we discovered under the step pyramid of the King Zoser. We discovered under the step pyramid of the King Zoser 40,000 vessels or vase back to the first and the second dynasty. These vessels, it was made of stones, some of them made of just
King Zoser belonged to the first dynasty or
King
pre-dynasties?
Zoser, 3 dynasty.
The third dynasty.
Yeah,
dynasty.
but yeah,
And Amenhotep
Imhotep from the time of the King Zoser.
from the same time.
He is the architect.
Uh-huh.
But we discover these stones date to first and second dynasty.
So this means that the place of
It means that
having
King
the
Zoser,
pyramid
yeah,
was actually used before him.
transformed these objects from the tombs of the first and second dynasty to keep them safe under the step pyramid of Saqqara for the King Zoser before he complete his complex. Made of different kind of stones, shast or alabaster. And we have also the second half of the rooms, including different statues. Some of them made of wood and some of them made of stones. The famous statues, the statue for Pitah Shepis and Pitah Hotub and Akht Hotub. Some of them carry the title the Chief of Justice and the Minister or the Vizier of the King Jid Qara al-Sisi, such as Pitah Hotub and Pitah Shepis.
And
Yes,
this brings us
Mr. Hassan Maghawry, the inspector, thank you very much for being with us today on
Thank
Nile
you.
Cruise, and very
Informative
yes, a
moment,
very
yeah.
informative segment of Nile Cruise. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
We'll be having a quick break, so stay tuned.